Good day, everybody. This is Everyman, and this is Everyman's 40K channel. So today is going to be an electronics day. So let me give you a quick rundown of a few items on the table, very important items here. We have some items that are going to be incorporated into the board, and then some items that are on the table that are just here to facilitate me building. So let's start with the stuff that's going to go on the board or in the board. So to begin with, the most important component is right here. That is my MP3 decoder. So right there in the center. To the left of that, over here, is my 2.1 amplifier. So 2.1, obviously, one woofer and two mid-range speakers with tweets. So this runs a 2.1 system, which is basically the same thing. Let's say that you would run a standard computer off of one base box somewhere next to the computer and on the floor, and then most people put the two satellite speakers up on the desk somewhere. So pretty standard stuff. This blue item here, this is a 4-controller relay switch. And so this is going to actually control all the timings. It has a digital control, and these little buttons here set it. And as I go through the setting and we build this thing, I'll go ahead and display this and show you how to set it up. We'll run a couple little tests and we'll get the speakers fired up and going. Over to the right, over here, this unit, this is kind of a neat little thing that I built. I'm not sure if anybody knows how to do this or if you guys have seen it, but this is a computer power supply. Just your standard $25 or $30 computer power supply, all the way up to $70 US, just depending on quality. Well, if you break these things down, right, you can see there that you have what we call 3 different rails. You have a 12-volt rail, a 5-volt rail, and a 3-volt rail within each power supply. We have our wires, we have our capacitors to base block. We've got another most important thing, our battery pack, 1300 mAh at 100C. So last thing, I do have to finish this, so I wanted to show you this. So this is my base box. It is cardboard from Amazon. So essentially, what I'm doing is I'm building a box out of cardboard, 4-inch subwoofer coming through, and this is the port. So once I seal this here and here and actually glue it, that actually inside here becomes the port, and then the port will come out here. This is going to mount to the cart. So I wanted to show you inside here first so you guys get an idea of actually what's going on. So when I close this up and paint it and do some kind of funky chaos stuff to it and mount it to the cart, you guys kind of get a full understanding of what inside there looked like before I go ahead and decorate this up and make it look cool. So that's what we're doing now. This is the opener. This will be part 4, and we're going to get into the electronics. So I have some connectors here. I have to do some conversions. I have to connect my switch to different sizes so I can charge and do multiple things. So there is some soldering. I do have my silver solder, rosin core. I've got my solder gun out there. I've got speaker wire for my LEDs. I got solid core, so this is not stranded. I recommend solid core if anybody's going to do any LED work, and there's a reason for that. And when we do LEDs, again, I'll explain. Okay, so for right now, we're going to stop here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish the speaker box for the little 4-inch subwoofer. I'll give a parts list, or we will talk about parts and what I actually purchased and why I purchased, again, when we get into each individual assembly. But for now, we're going to shut this off. Again, I'm going to do the base box over here, and then we'll come back and we'll start soldering and putting together all the electrical stuff, and we'll get the speakers turned on and we'll get this stuff working. Okay, for now, I'll be back. Hey, everybody, I'm back. Okay, so now, look at this mess. I've been working my tail off. I've been working, what do you say, like a bat at a you-know-what, to get this portion of this video cut, because the longer it takes me to get these videos done, and the longer it takes me to get all this stuff together and get it working, it just drags this project out. So let's get back to the speaker box. So here is the speaker box. This is the most important part, because the next thing I got to do is I got to spray paint it black. So this ring, again, that's a speaker grill cover or a beauty ring. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to felt the inside or the interior. This is pretty cool, because that speaker grill ring or protective cover, all that is it's a lid, a plastic lid from a soup bowl of wonton shrimp soup. And so what I did is I went ahead and I made little snaps right there that's going to hold that on. And there's the ring. So again, all I got to do is felt the bottom of that with some cement or some glue and stick the felt to it, and we're golden. So I got to get this painted. So now that I showed you guys this, I can go ahead and finish this box up. I went ahead and I have tested some of this stuff. I haven't played sound yet, but I got the relays working. I got the timers working. The next thing is to actually start hooking things up on the table here and get the MP3 player, the amplifier, and this particular relay to be timed, because the song in here, I've already timed it, already played it. I think it's exactly 5 minutes. So I got to time everything, because what I want is, once this is over, all these relays are going to shut down. And once these relays shut down, pretty much that stops all the power from being drawn off the battery. Then I'll just turn the switch off. So, 5-minute song here. The pump that's going to pump the water is going to start around 4 minutes, 30 seconds. So it's going to pump the water and kind of do its thing about 30 seconds left into the song, or into the whole show, so to speak. So this is kind of like a Disneyland amusement ride we're putting together. Okay, so right now I'm going to bow out. I got to go do some more work. I'm going to go spray paint this speaker box black. I'm going to install that little 4-inch subwoofer. If you guys feel interested in checking it out, this is the part number, a TCP115-4, which means this is a 4-ohm speaker. If you go on YouTube and check this speaker out, this is the best $12 4-inch subwoofer out there. Okay, so I can keep rambling on. I'm going to bow out, and I'll come back and we'll have some more done. All right, see you later. See you in a few. All right, so we're back, and the speaker box is done. Everything we needed to do to get the speaker box and other components ready. I put those away. I put those to the aside because, again, this is an electronics video. I just wanted to show you guys the speaker box. It is painted. It's ready to go. I mounted it to the cart the other day. It looks really good. I'm not going to show you the finished product until, towards the end, because again, you're going to be surprised, and it's going to be a thumbs up kind of deal. Today, or for this session, what we're going to do is I got to get the sound to the speakers. That is it. So I have a schematic that I drew up a couple days ago. I have 2 different schematics or schemes. One I'll put here. This is the first drawing. and you'll notice that all the wiring is kind of crazy, crisscrossing, going everywhere. Oh, and that one does not contain what I call a bus bar or a central terminal block. So if you look at the second schematic, which I'll post here, you'll notice on the second schematic I have a central positive and negative distribution block, or what we would call a bus bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to use this kind of thing that I got from Home Depot. So as you can see here, all this is a copper clamp. Here it is, a package here. It cost me like a couple dollars, right? It's a tube strap, or copper tube strap, 1/2 inch, quantity of 5. It cost me like $1.50 for the whole pack. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into the garage and I'm going to hammer this flat. And then it's going to go on this schematic, like this board, right? Real life, I have it here, positive, and I've got one here, negative. So a bus bar is going to go here, and then a bus bar is going to go here. And this is the two locations where we're going to power up all the positives, and we're going to power up all the negatives. So let me go do this, and I'll come back. I just want to pound them flat first, but I just first wanted to show you what these are made out of and how cheap. These are like 52 cents each or something like that. I mean, dirt cheap. So let me go pound those flat in the garage on the concrete with just a regular hammer, and I'll come back. Okay, so we got the 2 bus bars installed. Like I said, went outside, just flattened them with the hammer, gave them a good scuffing with some 60 grit sandpaper, so that way my wires will get a good contact. So let's discuss the electronics here a little bit and how we're going to hook them up. So from the switch is going to go direct to the positive side and direct to the negative. So that way we get a good power and ground setup going. The amplifier, we want to hook up to the power and the ground directly. So when we turn the switch on, the amplifier will be powered up. The amplifier does not need to go through the relay. It just needs to fire up as soon as we turn on the switch. So the MP3 decoder, you can see I've got one wire already hooked up into the 4th relay. I've got the ground wire going to the common ground onto the bus bar. And then over here, we're getting ready to install the relay, power to the relay, so the relay will come on. I've got my ground and my power wire right here. So I have a pile of small screws right here. So for the first one, it's easy. We just come in here. I pre-drilled this offline, or off the camera. Again, pretty simple. All you have to do is come in here. We'll give a little curve and hook it down like that. And just screw it down till it's nice and tight. Come in here. We got power in. So we're going to do the same thing over here to the ground. So we'll take this, grab another screw. All this is very simple. Also, what this does is this allows me to reduce the amount of soldering I have to do. So now I can hook all this stuff up via screws and just a copper bus bar. And again, obviously copper being a great conductive material, so that way we get a good solid flow of power through that copper and we don't have to worry. So come in here, hook up the ground, and easy money, as we like to say. Okay, so now for the first time you're going to see my power supply over there. We're going to fire that up. You're going to see the relay come on, some lights, and then there's a little green light right here on the amp. So again, you'll see this fire up. Over here, I got my alligator clips on my power lead, and I got an alligator clip over here on my negative lead heading into the switch. So let me go ahead and apply power to our power supply. Again, I made this. So we're hooked up to the 12-volt rail, power, ground. And okay, let's see what happens. Green light, red lights, we got power. This will cycle through. And then there we go. So now I'm going to go ahead, power down the system, and I'm going to hook up the common wire to this relay so that we can get the MP3 decoder to light up. So come over here, just power it down. We're going to use this wire here because this MP3 decoder, it doesn't take a lot of voltage. It can actually work off of 5 volts, and I'm feeding it 12. So we come in here, and we're going to use yellow wire for the commons on the relay. And that way, for me, it differentiates it, right? Separates it from all the reds that are going into each one. All the red wires. So twist these up. Okay, so we come in here, take the drill, and we're going to drill power. I don't want any shavings or anything to jack up the electronics. So come in here, grab our screw. Okay, so let me describe what's going to happen. So we got power from here, goes into the relay. The relay makes contact. It allows the power to continue through the relay into the board. And then we have common ground. So again, if everything works out, the light should come on. So let's go ahead, power the switch up. And there we go. So now the next thing we're going to do is speaker wires to the speakers. This is the base, These are two of the mid-ranges. So let me go ahead, hook up the speakers. Then we're going to program this and we're going to see if we can't get any sound. But let me hook up the speakers first. You don't need to see me do that. Basically, it's just plugging in wires and then running them to the speakers. And then that's it. So I'm going to do that offline. And then I'm going to come back and we'll see what we can do with the programming. Okay, I'll be back. All right, so hooked up all the speakers. I got this here. The bass box is underneath. I didn't want you guys to see that yet. I do have to leave some surprises to the end. I mean, come on, I can't show you everything. So I got the two small satellite speakers hooked up. Each satellite speaker right here does have a capacitor, or what they call a bass blocker. I am blocking on each one 250 hertz and below. So a big bass signal I'm taking out, because again, I don't want to, as I turn up the volume over here on the amp, I definitely don't want to be popping any speakers or blowing anything up. So I just started to upload all the videos of everything I've shot so far on this project. We're at the 20-minute mark. After I get done with this one, we're probably going to be at the 25-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. What I am going to do is I'm going to fire this up and I'm going to let you hear the first part of my MP3, which is hopefully you can hear the crickets. I'll let you hear it through the mic that I'm using. The last thing I got to do is I'm going to hook up these step downs. 5 volts, so 12 in, 5 volts coming out from my water pump, which is right here. There's my little water pump. That did come in a couple days ago. 3 volts, I think I've explained this before. 3 volts here for the bridge lighting, red LEDs, and then another 3 volts here. So basically, these are just step downs. We're going to hook them into the relay. We're going to put the yellow wires going into the relay, red wires coming out, plugged into the step downs, and then all 3 of these we're going to ground to the ground here, just like we've done for the rest. Okay, so you guys really don't need to see this. At this stage, the last thing I got to do to the bottom of the board, that then I can flip it over and actually start on the top of the board, which you guys mostly are here probably to see, you know, it all come to completion. I got to take the top basket of the cart, okay, and I have to get this system here so that with wood so that it slides into the top of that cart. So that's all I got to do, and the bottom of this board will be done. We're going to Velcro strap this down, this battery down. So I have Velcro. Going to screw down the Velcro, and we're just going to strap it down with the Velcro. That way I can remove it for charging. Other than that, folks, this is done. So we're going to play the first part, which is crickets, and then I'm going to close this out in the usual fashion. Let me get the power supply going. Okay, so here we go. Okay, everybody, that's it. That's all I can give you for now. Hey, if you like what I'm doing, please hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, hit that like button. Tell all your friends on your social media platforms, Discords, Facebooks, Instagrams that I'm out here, and we're going to continue with this project, and I appreciate everybody subscribing, and I appreciate everybody hanging in there. but we will get this done. Again, anybody who has any questions about how to do this stuff and the relays, amps, MP3 decoders, hit me up in the comments. I will reply. I will help you out if you're going to design or do your own board following some of this stuff that we've done here today. Like we always say on the channel, everybody, may all your dice rolls come up 6s unless you're looking for a 1. Peace out.